All right. Well, here we go. Aloha, everyone. Sorry I'm late. 6:12 p.m. on a special edition of Facebook Live with Mel Rapozo because it is Monday and not Wednesday. Wednesday, we have a coffee hour out in Princeville. We also have the YWCA. We have the YWCA candlelight vigil for domestic violence and sexual assault. That's on Wednesday as well. So we got Wednesday. That's at 5, and then 6:30. I gotta be out in Princeville for a coffee hour meet and greet. So that is why we have rescheduled Wednesday's Facebook Live to today at 6 o'clock. And then I just had a wonderful 90-minute massage. That's why I was running a little late. My team told me that I needed to unwind, so they hooked me up with this massage, and I'm feeling really relaxed right now. So anyway, I look relaxed. I'm looking at myself in this monitor, and I look really, really relaxed. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us again. Today is Monday again, and I just found out today that the ballots are out. We thought the ballots were going to be mailed out on the 16th, but I found out today that a lot of the ballots were already mailed out, and many people got the ballot. So if you see right there, don't forget to check this one right there, Mel Rapozo. Anyway, don't forget to vote. That's the most important thing. And we're trying to get out to the 24,702 people that did not vote in the primary, that they were registered, but they did not vote. 24,702. So there's quite a bit of folks that haven't voted or didn't vote in the primary, and we try to get them to come out in the general. So Noe, Steph, Wallace Nishimura, Jeffrey Watts, Lynn, thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to try and scroll through this. I know we got cut off last week when we had quite a bit of people on there. Beatles, Angela, Melissa, that's in Sarah and Leona. Mahalo for joining us. Yeah, so we got cut off last week, and so when I went back, I saw quite a bit of questions that we weren't able to get to. So I'm trying to get to as much as I can this week. You know, the first one I think I'm going to bring up is the Waimea flooding on Ape Road. I know a lot of people were concerned about that. Apparently the river mouth wasn't cleared, so it caused the flooding of that river, and a lot of damage to the residences up on Ape Road. So I am following up on that. I know that DLNR has a contract with the state to open up the river mouth, so we're following up to see what happened and why it wasn't cleared in time, or you know, who's responsible for clearing out the ditches that and streams that go into the river. And so, you know, hopefully next week we'll have more answers on that. But some significant damages that were suffered because of that. So we are going to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Just some dates to remember. Tomorrow is a big debate in Waimea. It'll be at the Waimea Theater, 5:30 meet and greet, 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock, 3 hours worth of debate. I don't know what we're going to talk about for 3 hours, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. So if you're in the area, make sure you are out at the Waimea Theater tomorrow, 5:30 meet and greet, 6 o'clock, 6 till 9 debate, myself and Derek. It's just a mayoral candidate, so just the two of us. We'll be out sign holding across the theater from 4 to 5:30. So if anyone in the area wants to help out and join us out there in Waimea, please stop by. On Wednesday, again, like I said earlier, we'll be at the Princeville Community Center. There's a meet and greet out there, and that starts at 6:30, and that'll go till 8 o'clock. And then sign holding on the 19th at Hanapepe across from Wong's Chinese restaurant. So, you know, we don't have much time left. Really, we're a few weeks away, and now it's crunch time. It's crunch time, and again, the ballots started arriving in your mailboxes today. So please, if you haven't voted yet, please vote, and please vote for Mel Rapozo. All right. Also, what we got here money has always been an issue. We have a $10 spaghetti dinner on October 24th, 5 to 7 right here at our headquarters. You can eat in or you can pick up to go. If you want tickets, please give us a call at 651-3262, 651-3262, and we will make sure you get these tickets. Or you can just stop on by on the 24th, that's next Wednesday, between 5 and 7. Homemade spaghetti, salad, dessert, all for $10, and always delicious spaghetti. Homemade. Also, let's see, new website, melwinskawaiwins.com, melwinskawaiwins.com. Make sure you stop by, check it out. Our traffic plan and our affordable housing plans are posted up on that site. Please feel free to read them. And if you have any comments or questions, let us know. My personal number is 645-0243. That's 645-0243. The campaign phone, 651-3262. Aloha, Josh, Leo, Ivan, Darren, Hilda, Doreen, and Pia. Aloha. And Titi, of course, my niece Titi, all the way from Oregon. So welcome aboard. So lots going on right now, as you can tell. Everybody's going to be cranking up for the election coming up in November, in a few weeks. And let me just get started. Ken Silva, don't you think we have too many cars in the island? Absolutely. It's too many cars, not enough lanes of travel, obviously causes the congestion. If you look at my traffic plan, you'll see clearly the interim solution right now is opening up some of those cane haul roads that aren't being used, that we could be using to get traffic off of the highways and onto these alternate routes, because we got to get people moving. We got to keep Kauai moving, and we can't do it with existing lanes of travel, which brings me up to another major point, is development. Because I think, people ask, Mel, what's the difference between you and Derek? What's the big difference between you and Derek? And I think quite simply, mine is, controlled growth. Really, I know economic development, all these things are great. Right now, we got to focus on our infrastructure. We got to focus on our traffic, our congestion. We got to focus up on our infrastructure, the wastewater systems, water systems, solid waste systems. All of these things have been kind of left behind. And, we cannot jump to, continue to grow this island without taking care of infrastructure. Tourists record numbers of tourists are coming to Kauai. And I keep saying we have become a victim of our own success because we have such a beautiful place to live. Everyone's coming and they're not going back. They're moving here. They're driving up the market rates for homes and sales and rentals. And all the while, we're not taking care of our infrastructure. For over 10 years, I have been proposing or advocating for alternative methods of handling our trash. For the last 10 years, 8 to 10 years, I've been advocating to open up the cane haul roads. Actually been talking to some of the private landowners, and actually they are willing to sit down and talk story about getting those lanes open. So, or those roads open. So, it's just a matter of doing things and not just talking about it. I've been on a council for 14 years, the last 4 as a council chair. And we've seen all the studies, we've seen all the discussions, we've had the community meetings, we've had thousands of hours of meetings at county council. And it's time to put all of that to action. Aloha, Christina, Arnold, Keith, Rochelle. Aloha, thanks for joining us, Marie. So it's time now to put those in motion. We decided to run a little over a year ago. We spent a lot of time putting our plans together because we wanted to be able to give the people of Kauai a leader that was ready to move. Not talk about it, not discuss possible options. We've done that. I've done that. Our councils that I've sat with have done that. Different mayors have done that. So now it's time to put all of that talk to action. And I'm not sure why that hasn't been done. Aloha, Susan, Jenny, Garen, Sherry, the 2 Sherrys on. Thank you very much. It's really time to put the ball in motion because we have talked about it for way too long already. many issues face the island. Homelessness. There was another question that came up. What about homeless? Mel, what are you going to do about homelessness? Well, I've been talking about setting up safe zones on the island and getting the homeless community in an area where they can have shelter, they can have comfort, they can have safety, and the social services can be brought to them in one location. We can have these little safe zones throughout the island, so all of our homeless people can sleep safely and dry at night. We got a lot of grandmas and grandpas, aunties and uncles, and kids all sleeping in bushes or in tents on beaches because they can't afford to live here. We cannot just ignore it and pretend that they're not here. We gotta set up areas where they can at least sleep at night and not worry about their stuff being ripped off or getting mugged or getting wet, and I believe that's our responsibility. So, my commitment is to set up safe zones throughout the island where these people can be safe. That's not too much to ask for. And people say, where is it going to be? Well, that's something the community is going to have to decide. The not in my backyard philosophy is alive and well, but at the end of the day, we got to take care of these grandmas and grandpas and the keiki that's out there in the elements, and we're gonna have to make some tough decisions, and that's again what I bring to this race is a leader that not afraid to make those tough decisions. Josh, absolutely, the veterans as well. Many people don't know I am a veteran. I've been blessed. I didn't have to go to combat, but I did serve 21 years and retired, and we have a huge population of veterans here that need our assistance. Thank you for bringing that up, Josh. I appreciate that. We must never forget them. So, and again, these safe zones would be areas where it would be self-regulated. They would take care of these areas themselves, empower them to take care of their little communities. It's working everywhere else. I think it's time we at least try. I think, one of the frustrations of being on a council, dealing with the state, dealing with our own county administration, is whenever you have an idea, there's 1,000 of reasons why we can't get it done. Liability or whatever it is. I don't look at it that way. I want to look at the things and the reasons why we can or how we can get it done. And that is what I will bring to the mayor's office should I be successful. The way things are going, in about 5 years, we're going to have to make an appointment to use the highway to go to the west side or north shore. Sounds silly, but mark my word, Canada is not silly. I mean, think about it. How do we get around now? It's crazy, and we got to start making those decisions today. Every administration I've ever worked with, every single, whether it's state or county, always kicks that can down the road, and the can cannot go. It's at the cul-de-sac. There is no more road to kick it down, and we got to make some solid decisions. Again, if you've followed me on the council for the last 14 years, you know that I am not afraid or ashamed to speak my mind, because I think you got 7 people on a council, 7 diverse, independent people that should be discussing options, and then hopefully an administration that is supportive, and we can get stuff to happen. And quite honestly, we've had a lot of discussions, but not much action. Our roads are in terrible shape, terrible shape. And the G tax was raised in this last term. So in January of next year, everyone's going to get hit with a 0.5% increase in the general excise tax. I was the only council member that voted against it, simply because, number one, it's a regressive tax. It hurts the poor. We all know that. There's no one that's going to dispute that. It hurts the poor. Number two, for as long as I've been on this council, every year we fund the roads division with adequate amounts of money to get the road paving done. They just haven't done it. It's not a money issue, ladies and gentlemen. It's a performance issue. So my style of leadership, my style of management isn't throwing money at a problem because we think it's going to get it fixed. No, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about getting the right people in the right positions, holding them accountable, and making sure that the job gets done. That's the bottom line. That's the difference, I think, between myself and my opponent. It's very simple to tax people. 4 votes on the county council, you get to increase the tax and raise revenue. I think the better leader, I think the better solution is to control our expenditures, control the way we operate, make this county more efficient, and you do that through audits, performance audits, staffing audits, and making sure that we don't have duplication of services, making sure that all the departments are running efficiently as possible. And that is what I will bring. It's very simple to say, you know what, we need $6 million more. Figure out, finance department, figure out how we can raise $6 million. No, that's you know, and I haven't supported tax increases because I don't believe we've made the necessary cuts in operations. I think taxes, if we get any tax increases, it's as a very last resort. We have not gone to everything, I believe, to make this county more efficient before raising taxes. So, and again, that is what I will bring. I think that's the biggest difference. I mean, it's again, very easy. And look at the state now. State wants to tap into our real property tax to fund education. Nobody wants to take money away or not support education. Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, the real property taxes is our source of revenue for the counties. You know, the state has all these different mechanisms. They got the TAT, they got the GET, they can create sales tax, they have income tax, they have all of these areas to generate revenue. And yet this year, as I've stated, they have stooped to an all-time low by now crossing that line into what the Constitution gives the counties the right to do, to generate revenues through property taxes. They have gone, and what I say is disrespecting the counties for stepping over that line and saying, no, now we're going to come after your property taxes. They've taken our TAT, they forced us to raise a GET, and now they're going to take even more by taxing our real property. Absolutely wrong. I hope all of you, reach out to your representatives at the state level and let them know that they need to, number one, audit DOE. They need to audit the operation and efficiency of the Department of Education first, find out the inefficiencies, fix that, and I bet you they'll find money to fund the schools. You cannot keep throwing money, and politicians, I tell you, especially when it's not their own, real simple to just throw more money on it. That's a very good excuse, very good justification. Hey, you know what? We'll just throw them another $5 million. That's my solution. No, the solution is a tough one. It's a tough call that you got to go and dig deep into your own soul and figure out where can we do better? Where can we cut spending? Where can we consolidate services? That's what tough leaders do, not just raise taxes and throw more money. I agree with Josh about the conditions of the overgrowth on the county roads, blocking signs. I mean, it's blocking signs. It's growing through telephone lines and electric lines. I have a bill. I introduced a bill that's going to allow the county to charge landowners that allow their trees and brush to grow into the county roadway. That is at the county attorney's office right now. I want to get that introduced before the end of the term and get it passed before the end of the term, because I agree this is causing a hazard. It's horrible. I mean, just, and more so on the state, but also on the county roads, is, the brush grows over the guardrails, so you cannot see the guardrail. And when you're driving, and if just so happen you want to pull over to the side of the road and you don't know a guardrail is there, you're going to hit that guardrail. So I'm not sure what's going on. I know that in the old days, as I talked to the old overseers from the county, their job throughout the day was to drive around to all the different work sites, check on the workers, and make sure they had what they needed. But while they're driving around the island, they would be looking at these areas that needed attention, and they would get back to the base yard and submit their report, and the work orders would go out. That's not happening right now. But again, it's not that we have bad workers. The fact is we just don't have the system in place. We don't have accountability. And that is where I will make a difference. I will be the change. I will make sure that our department heads are accountable to myself. And at the end of the day, the buck stops with the mayor. And that's just how I plan on running my administration, is that, my department heads will be accountable to me. And if they cannot get the job done, then we'll be looking for a different department heads. I believe that we have great workers. They just have no guidance. They have no resources. They have no tools. It's a shame how some of these workers got to bring their own mowers to mow the parks and mow their work areas. Shameful. And that simply cannot happen. And I can assure you that will not happen if I'm the mayor. Aloha, Hilda. We need to take better care of our parks. Again, much like the DOE, I think that we have a problem with the too many supervisors, not enough workers. I think that as we review the departments, we're going to find that there's many inefficiencies in the upper branches, and that we would need to again get more of the line personnel in the park. We need more people in the parks. That's plain and simple. The way these guys gotta run around and take care of multiple parks. This is the solution. And anybody disagree with this, I want to really know about. I want to hear it. You assign a team of people to the park. That park becomes their park. On the park, you make a sign. You put a nice sign at the park, and on that park you put the name of the park, and you put the names of the maintenance workers of that park. Who's the lead? Who's the supervisor? And all of a sudden they're going to be they're going to take ownership, and everyone's going to know whose park that is. And I can promise you, the conditions of the park would improve immediately at no cost. If you look at the military, all of our jets, planes, they have the pilot's name, they have the chief maintenance officer's plane. That's because they have pride in that jet or in that aircraft. And that's really what we're going to do. Bring pride back, and again, rewarding these workers that are working so hard to provide the services they need to provide. But, you know, it's very difficult to blame the workers if they don't have the tools, if they don't have the equipment. The horror stories we hear, you know, you got equipment that's been in a shop over a year. They cannot fix weed whackers. They cannot fix lawnmowers. So something's wrong. And that is where I think the huge work needs to be put in. And that, again, comes right back down to the accountability of the department heads. So yeah, interesting stuff. So obviously parks in dire need, and I don't believe that the solutions are that difficult. It's just a matter of having a leader, starting with the mayor and then the department heads that are serious about turning out a good product. And you know, we did it in the past. We should be able to do it again. So I'm excited. You know, I want this opportunity. I guess that's the bottom line is I really want this opportunity because I believe it can be done, and I believe it can be done relatively quickly. And just a few little tweaks here and there. And again, you know, accountability is a very important term, because if in fact there is no accountability, then what we have today is exactly what we're going to get. County is good people. Absolutely, Jay. I agree with you 100%. Too much duplication and engineers running departments with zero management or people skills. Absolutely. So again, you know, they're going to have to join the team. They're going to have to join the team, the vision and the mission statement. And if they're not, then, you know, then they're going to have a rough time. They're going to have a rough time. It's good to fix our roads, but we need new roads. Look at Hilo. They made a new road in a couple of years from Hilo to Waimea. They redid Saddle Road. Beautiful experience. It's called the Dan Inouye Highway. You know, one of the things that myself and Councilmember Kagao and others have gone up to Congress, we can't build a new road on our county budget. We all know that. And if anyone tells you that, I'm telling you they're lying. Because a new road right now is about $500 million, about $500 to $700 million. Do we need it? Absolutely. The state has a plan for that alternate route. They have told us that they don't have any money. So that's off the books. The west side doesn't even have a state traffic plan. And that's, you know, I'm trying to find interim solutions that we can do now while we lobby the state and the federal government, but we cannot wait for them. We cannot wait for them. And Ken, while I agree that we need a new road, it's just something that we need to start planning now. And when I say we, it's all three levels of government, federal, state, and county, because it's much too expensive for the county to take on by themselves. But you're right, we need a new highway. We went to Congress. So funny. I go to Tulsi Gabbard. I said, hey, Tulsi, fund the highway. We call it the Tulsi Gabbard Highway. At the next meeting, I meet with Maisie, and I said, hey, Maisie, fund the highway. We call it the Maisie Hirono Highway. I said the same to Brian Schatz, said the same thing to Hanabusa. I don't care what they name it. It just needs to be built. I don't care. It needs to be built. What's going on with the sited landfill? Where are we at with that? The mayor made an announcement a few days ago that he's accepted the site. It has passed all of the requirements, EIS. According to the mayor, the feds and the State Department of Transportation, has given their blessing because they had a concern that they opposed the location because of the distance from the airport. I'm still concerned about that. But the bottom line is this. We need to do something else with our trash than just burying them. Kauai is a small island. We got generations that's going to be following us that we cannot keep building landfills. And again, I've said this from the beginning, and I know I've lost support because of this, but the answer is an alternative technology to deal with our trash, whether it's incineration or plasma or whatever it may be. It could be anaerobic digestion, whatever the technology that this island can utilize should be pursued. That is one of the first things I'll do as mayor is send out that RFP, the request for proposals for different technologies for this island. The people will tell you we don't have enough trash. That is hogwash. I will tell you, I have spent many hours researching this, talking to experts in the field. 20 years ago, you need a lot of trash to feed the beast. Now they have these modular units that can actually come down to as low as 25 tons a day. So we can recycle and we can burn our trash and create electricity. So don't let anybody tell you that it can't be done. And Sherry, I know you asked that question. So I say, we can partner with the nonprofit segment. We can partner with a public-private partnership to make this happen. Again, we got to look at options. We cannot just continue to say, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. No, this is the deal. We cannot just continue. See, if we get a facility, alternative trash disposal facility, whatever it is, the size of the landfill today will be drastically reduced, meaning the cost would be drastically reduced. We would create a byproduct that could be used, number one, the power. Yeah, we sell the power, or you could make fuel. The other byproduct is the ash. That ash can be used for aggregate. That ash can be used for construction. So listen, there are many opportunities that this county can pursue. I think the comfortable thing to do is sit back and just status quo. Make the people believe that we're doing something about the problem. Those days gotta stop. So yeah, sometimes I tell it like it is. It offends people, but again, my plans are living plans, and I state in either of my plans, on the last paragraph it says, we're open for suggestions. Please, if you have a suggestion, if you have an idea that's better than what I think we need, I'll be more than happy to implement. It doesn't have to be my idea, but we need to move. That's where I'm headed. Luna, hopefully the alternate route isn't next to the ocean. No, it'll be up Mauka. Good point. Sea level rise is for real. I am not going to support any development along the coast. I know that right now the administration is looking at extending the bike path on that Coconut Coast between the old Sheraton and the old Kauai Beach Boy Hotel. They're going to put it at one point 6 feet from where the erosion is happening. I mean, pathetic thinking. And I can tell you that won't happen if I'm the mayor. Absolutely not. We got to address the sea level rise. We need to start thinking how we're going to get all our basically buildings and structures inland, because it is for real. And no one can dispute that. The state, the federal have little respect for us. Thank you. That's an understatement, sir or ma'am. I'm not sure which one of you posted that, Ricky or Joyce, but yes, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And so this is one of the things that people say, Mel's going to be a tough mayor. We got to really work on our relationship with the state. I have tried, ladies and gentlemen, I have tried for years and years and years to work with them and to play their game. We have gotten zero. It is time now that we, as legislators on Kauai, state and county, fight for our people of Kauai. And enough already of these games. They keep taking and taking and taking. And yes, they'll provide some CIP budget items. Yes, of course they got to fix our hospitals and schools. That's their function. But our basic needs, our tourism numbers are growing. The revenues from tourists, ridiculously high, and yet all of that is stuck in Honolulu. They raised the TAT last year, 1%. All of those funds go to the rail. No. Time out, state. Time out. We need to start fighting for the people of Kauai, and that's what I plan to do as your mayor. If Mel wins, Kauai wins. You know what? I love that slogan. It's not a slogan, it is a reality. Thank you very much. That is so true. Agreed, partner with the state or feds for monies for roads. Alternative, also federal aid. Absolutely. We will seek as much federal money as possible. I can tell you, people may think I have a bad relationship with the legislature. That's simply not true. Maybe some of our COI delegates, because I jump on them every time they screw us over. So yeah, they might be upset, but I will tell you, my relationship with the members of the legislature, both House and Senate, at the state capitol is very good. I was a state president for most of my term on the county council with the state association. So I have made wonderful relationships. At Congress, as a member of the national board for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years, excellent relationship. So, you know, we got to come up with a plan that is doable and then ask for some help. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done, but you know what? We cannot just wait for others. You know, sometimes we got to do for ourselves, and that's what I plan to bring. You know, people, but it's funny now because, you know, because the election's so close, people is like comparing the two guys. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say anything bad about Derek. He's a great guy. But at the end of the day, we are two different people. We are two very different people. You know, I like I say, if you know me, you know my style. It's you know, we want results. We want, you know, I don't want excuses. We need to get things done. You know, in the military, we didn't have the opportunity to say, oh yeah, we'll get around to it. No, and there was a checklist. You get it done, and if you don't get it done, you're gonna be in some serious kimchi. So, you know, my experience comes from all different areas. You know, I was a police officer for 12 years. You know, I think that taught me the discipline and the you know, just the somewhat military structure. And then of course the military. I've traveled throughout the country to some foreign countries, and no matter where you go, you know, the training in the military is consistent. You know, whether it's the safety training, your driver training, everything is consistent wherever you go. And that is where I think this county again misses the mark. We spend so much unnecessary money bringing a consultant to train one department, and then we send another one to, you know, to the next department. All of these things that I have learned over the last, I don't know, I started when I was 19, I'm 54, so I've been around this thing for a long time. All of these experiences that I've had in the different areas of government will be such a benefit to this county. I can tell you, it'll definitely make this county much more efficient. So I'm hoping that, thank you, Rich, just voted for you. I saw Wally Nishimura posted his picture on Facebook today of the ballot. He voted for voted for me, and I was just so ecstatic. The first one. I hope many more. I hope more people will do it. No 9-story buildings on Kauai. We cannot become Maui. That is what Oahu money did to them. Absolutely, I am totally against changing the height limit, removing the height restriction on Kauai. Absolutely no. Don't let anybody tell you that's a good idea. That's just opening Pandora's box. We don't need that on Kauai. We got issues right now we got to deal with. Let's not create more for us. Let's just fix the issues that we have, and then we'll discuss that stuff later. Right now, Kauai is rural. Kauai is Kauai. We need to keep it that way. We don't need no damn high buildings around anywhere. I don't care where. We don't need them. I love to look out the window one way, see the mountain. I love to look at the window the other way, see the ocean. I don't need to see buildings. I don't want to see buildings. If I want that, I'll move to Maui or Big Island or Honolulu. I love it here. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited because, you know, that's a possibility. I will tell you that my opponent back in April at a council meeting said we have to explore that. We have to explore. He has since changed and said he does not support the removing the height limit. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now we just got to make sure that everybody reminds our legislative team, whether they're county council or the mayor, you know, let's not go get crazy here. You know, how about we take our time, sit around a table and figure out how we're going to fix the mess that we have. How are we going to fix the homeless issue? How are we going to fix affordable housing? Let's focus on those things. Let's not talk about building high buildings. Excuse me. All right, I'm getting excited. Aloha, Jesse, Carlos, Tombis Olivis. I think, you know, I always wondered how you pronounce your first name, Tombis. I hope I did that right. But anyway, welcome and thanks. Palenapa, thanks for joining us as well. Not a possibility, but Oahu money will ask for their payback. Well, you know, I can honestly say The vast majority of my donations came in from Kauai, from local people like you and myself that work 2, 3, 4 jobs to make ends meet. And I'm just, that's exactly where we like it. I don't owe anybody anything except the voters of Kauai and the people of Kauai and Niihau. I don't owe any unions anything. I got one union endorsement from the police officers. Thank you, Shopo. My opponent got 27, I believe, from all the labor unions, contractors, attorneys, and big money up in Honolulu. You know what? Like I said, I ain't going to say anything bad about it. That's a good thing. But just remember, follow your money. Where's your money? My money came from local people like you and me, and that's where I'm going to be loyal and obligated to. We again, I said earlier, we spent a lot of time on our plans, traffic plans, and affordable housing plans, because we wanted to make sure December 3rd is inauguration. December 4th, when I go to work as a new mayor, we're going to start implementing these plans. There's no more discussion. Hey, we need to call get a task force together to discuss affordable housing. No, it's there. It's there. We're gonna start implementing, and I think that's what we need to do. Donation from us too. Vote Kauai, Mel. Yes. Thank you guys all for your contributions. All of you that donated, I got to make a little disclaimer here. All of you that donated to my campaign will be getting a letter from me. It's going to go out, I believe, on Wednesday or tomorrow, Wednesday, because early on in the campaign, we had the plan was to participate in the public funding or matching funds program with the state elections department or campaign spending. That required us to stay below $74,000 in expenditures. We thought we could do that, but when our opponent raised, almost $500,000 in the primary and spent, over 300 or whatever it was, thousand, to be competitive, we no longer could stay within that limit. So, because we chose not to participate in the public funding program after the fact, the campaign spending is requiring us to send each of you a letter saying, sorry, I said I would and I didn't because I couldn't. We could never be competitive. And even with the fundraising that we did and the campaigning that we have, we're still outspent by at least 4-1. We won't know until the reports come out after the general. I would suspect that it will be probably 5-1 by the time the general is over. We're very limited budget, and that's just the nature of the beast. So don't be shocked when you see that letter that's going to go out in a day or two. Share your thoughts on tourism. Like I said at the debate at the chamber debate at the convention hall, we've become a victim of our own success. We're so good. This island's so beautiful. The marketing is so great. We need to slow down on the marketing right now. We need to catch up on our infrastructure. We need to catch up on our parks. We need to catch up so that we can provide an experience for our visitors and residents alike that we're not hitting right now. Yeah, we are so thankful for tourism. Tourism will always be the bread and butter for this county. And that's just the way it is. It's going to be that way. But at the same time, we cannot compromise our quality of life of our local residents because we want to cater to the tourists. And I know, Sherry, this may upset you, but that's my position on it. I think we do much better if we can prepare and provide a better product. But then again, not at the expense of our local residents. I mean, right now, our people are stuck in traffic. Our people are visiting stinking, dirty, rotten parks. And I'm not blaming the tourists. I'm just saying the number of people that coming here, the number of people that have come to this island. I said earlier, Cher, I just read your last comment. You're right. I said a lot of these tourists are coming and they're not going back. So we have a bunch of people on this island, more people. We get 72 or 73,000 residents, about 25,000 visitors a day is what they tell me. So we're looking at 100,000 people on this island where we used to have 40,000. And the infrastructure hasn't changed. The roads are still the same. Yeah, we got a couple extra lanes here and there, but at the end of the day, we're going backwards. So what my suggestion is that we regroup and we start focusing on the infrastructural needs. That's why I created the traffic plan. That's why we created affordable housing plan, infrastructure plan. Unfortunately, because numbers. I need numbers, and we're just not getting them. I wasn't able to put together the plan, but I will tell you this. We will prioritize the needs of this county as far as infrastructure. We'll prioritize the needs as it relates to safety and health, number one. We got sewer systems, wastewater systems that need immediate attention. Water systems. Of course, I already talked about our landfill. We have situations that we got to attend to now. And my plan is to go out and do some bond financing so we can get these things taken care of once and for all, rather than the piecemeal band-aids that we've been doing. 2 million here, 5 million here, 4 million here. No, let's go out and get the bond financing. Let's fix these issues once and for all. And the debt service would be absorbable, I guess, if that's a word. You know, the taxpayers could absorb that without major tax increases. Let's see. Mel, remember one time at Special Olympics, I told you if you run for mayor, you got my vote. Imo, my friend. You know what, Ken? I remember that, and you know, Special Olympics near and dear to my heart. Yes, this weekend we spent the weekend at the bowling alley. They had their winter competition, their bowling tournament. You know, a lot of people don't know I coached Special Olympics for 10 years back in the 80s, mid 80s to the mid 90s. Very young. They needed a coach. I didn't know how to coach, and I said this at the disabilities conference when I spoke. I said, you know, when I first met some of these athletes with disabilities, I was quite uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable, in fact. And it didn't take long where you just really learn to appreciate what you got. These athletes, some of them in mental disabilities, physical disabilities, and they are just inspirations for everybody. I really got addicted to being a coach, and I wish I could have stayed on. It's just, time. Life gets busy. You get kids and jobs, and you get 2 jobs and 3 jobs. Next thing you know, you really got to give up what you really love because you have to. But I will tell you, spending time this weekend at the bowling alley with some of my athletes was awesome. Was awesome. So Ken, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Wendy, you're right, Mel. You got things done, however, over finished, and we'll move to the next project problem. So much will be accomplished with you as the mayor. That's the plan. That's the plan. I know there's many issues. Affordable housing, I think, one that we really got to work with. I'm working with these 2 gentlemen here on Kauai that are really experts in the development of affordable housing. And we've kind of hit a dead end here with this administration, and so that's really, I'm excited because, as mayor, we could do so much more. As a mayor, I can designate emergency affordable housing plots or lots, and we can expedite the development of these homes. It doesn't have to be big homes. It can be townhomes. It could be any kind of structures. We just got to get people in homes and in shelters, and we can do leasehold. We can do permanent affordable houses. There's a lot we can do. Again, working with the nonprofit sector. We cannot do this alone as a county. I can tell you that. You cannot do it. So there's many organizations out there that I am speaking with that we can, once I'm the mayor, we can move forward and stop talking about it. You cannot grow comfortably. Thanks for growing and helping. Oh, you cannot grow comfortably. Thanks for growing and helping Kauai grow. Thank you. I'll share a Mel story. You met you through Pop Warner. You introduced Positive Coach and Alliance. I bought it, and it helped change me as a coach and person. Josh, that is one of the nicest things. I think you remember, Josh, when I first brought PCA to Positive Coaching Alliance to Kauai, nobody wanted to do it. Nobody wanted to. The old school coaches, they didn't want the 5-to-1 ratio. For every 1 discipline item that you give the kid, you got to give them 5 positives. How hard is that? Really? You want to help the kid develop. This is Pop Warner. It's not the NFL. Josh, what you have done with your program out on the West Side, remarkable, truly remarkable. That makes me feel good that PCA had something to do with that. And that's kind of the mentality I have. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a biologist. But I'm a coach, and I can be a great coach to the county employees, to the county team. And PCA I keep saying PCA, Positive Coaching Alliance, is the philosophy works whether it's sports or at work. our county council, I keep telling people, if you have a question about my leadership ability or my management style, call the council services, ask anybody, what's the conditions of working at there under my leadership as the chair? And, you know, I didn't prep them, so I can tell you that I didn't let them know that you guys are calling. But, you know, I don't say that to brag. I just say that because, you know, I was an employee, I was an employer, worked for many bosses, and I've worked in many different areas. And, you know, one thing that the employees got to know is that they're a part of the team and that they're appreciated. And then, as I said earlier, give them the tools and resources they need. They're going to work. They're going to perform. So I get excited when I think about it because there's so much room for expansion. Economic development should focus on its people and citizens for they to become successful entrepreneurs instead of focusing on tourism related. That's what the tourism authority is for. That agency should be all about being available for nonprofit. You know, we have become, our economic development agency has become a placeholder for grants. I want to go develop our economy. There are many people, many young kids here that can stay here by being entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. You know, if you know, I'm gonna put my plug in right now. No one knows this. Another secret of Mel that you don't know. HawaiiFirstApparel.com. www.Hawaii, spell it out, HawaiiFirstApparel.com. That's my wife and I's online store. Shop up. You know, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and yet there is so much opportunity today with high tech, with the internet, with e-commerce, and that's what we should be doing. Sherry, you're right. Let the tourism agencies do the marketing of the tourism, and let's focus on our residents here and our kids that we can get them to be able to stay here. You know, not like my kids who live in Oregon. Can one of your plans be not to forget the West Side? With every mayor, they always say they won't, but they do. Julia, well, I think Julia, you know, the other thing too is you know, for many years, people tell me I was the voice of the West Side because I was, you know, I have a lot of friends out there, and people would call, and I would, you know, I try to address everybody as quick as I can. So obviously, the West Side is a major part of this island, and an area that requires attention like everyone else. I mean, absolutely. So give me a shot, Julia or Jackie, whoever you are. You know, and then hold me accountable. That's the beauty of this thing. You know, I'm the most accessible council member. I've always been the most accessible council member. So, you know, hold me accountable. I should be held accountable. One of my plans is convert one of the positions in the mayor's office to somewhat of an ombudsman or basically a position that's going to monitor all the complaints that come in, all the concerns that come in, that you report something. It'll get a tracking number, and you don't have to call 10 people to get an answer. One person will be managing all of that, making sure that the concern goes to the right agency, but that person will be the one that's going to be answering to the public, so no one runs around this place. Trust me, I deal with it. I deal with it as a council chair, and I can only imagine how frustrating it is for the public. So that's one of the positions in the mayor's office that will be converted, and I will be a person that is going to monitor all concerns coming into the mayor's office. Straight from the mouths of some of the staff at council that you have been and are a great leader and council chairman. Thank you. Thank you. You know, we don't talk politics at the council office, so I'm going on a limb telling you to call them because I'm assuming, based on how they function and their attitudes at work, that they're really enjoying it. And we did make some changes. We cut positions. In fact, we're going to lose two more employees to different opportunities. One's going to pursue a business venture, and another one is going to go to another department because it's a promotion. You know, we don't need to fill their positions right now. You know, traditionally, the council chair would, hey, hire this person, hire this person. You know what, the clerk and I spoke, and, you know, do we need to fill the positions at this moment? She says, no, I think we can function with the existing staff. So I said, well, you go ahead and, you know, focus, see if you need more, then you do the hiring. Our clerk, Jay Tanagawa, has done a great job with managing that office, managing the expenses. And that's what I'll bring to the mayor's office. Same thing. It's no different. It's just larger. But, more department heads to help out. Like the Waimea River level monitor, so the people that live in the valley don't get flooded. That's, again, Beatles. We got to, and it's just Waimea, Koloa. We got all these streams at Kiapana, up in Kilia, Anahola. I know how bad it gets. And we got to do a better job. The first thing we got to do is identify who the heck is responsible. Every time it floods, I get a different answer. So, we're going to inventory all the streams, all the floods. We'll be so organized that I think it'll make our job so much easier. When we get the call on the street, we know who to call. We know whose responsibility it is. And if it's a county's responsibility, we got to make sure we prevent that from happening. If it's cleaning streams, we got to clean streams. If it's opening the river mouth, we got to open the river mouth. I don't understand how we allow these things to happen. We create our own problems. And that's where I think leadership, accountability comes in. My little Tisha asked for a swimming pool again in Kekaha. Yeah, she's watching with me. Hi, little Tisha. That's one of the things. I'm hoping that, with the host community benefit out there, the funds that Kekaha gets because of the landfill being out there, I was hoping that would be the direction the community wanted to go, because the swimming pool out there would be so beneficial. But that's something definitely, once we get our priorities done. I'm not going to lie to you, little Tisha, because I think the appropriate thing, or the politically correct thing for me to tell you is, if elected, I will give you a swimming pool. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We got to fix a lot of things. And that is what I hope to do in the first couple of years of the term. Get these needed repairs done. And then, obviously, build up the amenities for our island. I want to see a swimming pool out on the west side. I would love people don't know this too. There's a lot of things you don't know about me. My stepdad is from Kekaha, Sam Fong. My stepdad was Wayne Sam Fong. And we spent a lot of time out in Kekaha with Auntie Alan. Many of you guys know Auntie Alan out there, and the Delanosas. And that swimming pool, we spent a lot of time. I don't know if many of you remember. I know, little Tisha, you don't. I don't even know if Josh, you do. But there was a little wading pool, very shallow. It was just, that's where I hung out. It was just shallow. And then there was the other pool, and she'll see you mañana. But yeah, it'd be great to reconstruct that pool. Now we got vacation rentals over there. But hang tight, little Tisha. We'll definitely put that on the list. And as soon as we can get to some of our, like I said, some of our amenities, I'm going to be all infrastructure, but there's some issues we got to deal with now, because the consequences will be really dire if we don't. Please keep the west side the way it is. It's the old Kauai. West Kauai would spend one day in Kapaa. They would not like it. It's a rat race, traffic people. Yeah, I think they know that. But the old west side had the pool, and it would be wonderful to get that pool back over there. Amen. Way before I planted my roots on Kauai. Yeah, Josh, I was so little. I honestly don't even remember when it was, but I know that the wading pool, WADING, the wading pool was enough for me. That's how small I was. I agree, but it's the unfinished sidewalks, the little things. Oh yeah, one of again, another part that's complete frustration for me. And some of you know, because you've reached out to me time and time again about the ADA sidewalks. Waimea County, Kekaha Park, where our disabled community cannot even get in the fence. That will be a priority. So those, although those seem like amenities, those are not. Those are what I believe are required amenities that we need to get done right away. And Moi Road, Hanapepe, that's being done. That's funded. That's going to be done in this budget year. I remember in 2002, 2003, sending a letter over to Brian Baptiste, God bless his soul, he's a great man, saying, can we finish the sidewalk on Moi Road? And it's now, 16 years later, and it ain't there. But it's finally there, and it's going to be done, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that to be done. I mean, again, that, to me, unacceptable why it took so long. How do we keep Kauai on the east side with all the end-to-end resorts and the traffic? Well, there's not much we can do about the resorts, Jenny. The resorts are built. The resorts that are coming up in Coconut Marketplace that you're seeing now, those were approved a long time ago, well over 20 years ago. Those projects were all approved, and they never gave them a use it or lose it clause. So those are going to go now, and there's nothing we can do about that. We haven't done any new zoning for resort in a long time. I have never done one on Kauai. We did 2 zoning amendments in my time on the council. One was Kukuyula, was a down zoning. We actually reduced the number of units, as well as Kauai Lagoons at the Marriott. So yeah, I know the council often gets blamed for letting this place run out of control, but these entitlements were granted a long time ago, and there's no way of stopping them unless we're going to buy them out, and the county simply cannot afford that. So I share your pain. I do. I live in Wailua, and I deal with that traffic, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. Stop the desecration to our island. Absolutely, Alberto. And support on the salt beds. We put a special, I forget what it's called, a special use layer or special management layer on the ponds. We need to do more. People think I'm crazy, and I may have said this in prior Facebook Lives, and I apologize if I'm repeating, but I believe that the salt pans at Salt Pond should be one of the natural wonders of the world. We get 7 right now. The pyramids and all of that. But I believe the process that is happening right now in Salt Pond is the only process of its kind in the world that I believe should qualify for that status and that protection. So, yeah, Sherry, there's a lot. That's why I need to be there. As a council member, I can write a letter. As a mayor, the voice is a little louder. And Sherry, I think my voice is quite loud, yeah? Look, I said Sherry and my Siri went off. But anyway, that salt ponds is something that we gotta preserve and protect. And again, that comes with some decisions that's gonna upset a segment of the community, because you cannot have your cake and eat it too. So if we're gonna protect the beds, we're gonna protect the beds. If vehicles in that area are causing a problem to the beds, then we gotta stop the vehicles in the area. So again, it's a double-edged sword, but I'm prepared to make that decision. I'm prepared to tell the upset people, at this point, we got to protect the beds. And trust me, I am a very strong supporter of Salt Pond. From when Kaipo was out here, Kaipo and I made numerous trips out there. And it just seems that place is getting popular. And, you can watch from afar. You don't have to go and stomp all over and drive all over that area that's going to impact the beds. I saw oil coming up from Kaipo, and I videotaped it. Oil coming up, like you see at the Arizona Memorial. I saw the oil coming, the little drop of oil coming up into the salt pan, the salt bed. That's serious stuff, and we got to protect that. So thank you for that question, Sherry. And I definitely agree. I'm trying to scroll through this if I missed anything. We're at about an hour now. I'll stay on for a little while longer if anyone has more questions. Whew, that was a quick hour. My gosh, I know I started a little late, and it is Monday, not Wednesday. We do this every week, and we may have to pick it up a notch because again, ballots are out today. You may have gotten your ballots in the mail. I just humbly ask that you please check my block. I want to continue to serve this island in the worst way. Kealoha Matsuda, what are we doing about making an area for homeless like Waianae did for the Hawaiians, or Bumpy Kanahile doing for the Hawaiians, even a trailer park? Like I did mention this earlier, Kealoha, I am a very strong advocate of safe zones. The Waianae model is fabulous. If any of you haven't seen the documentary that was, I believe it was on PBS, with Auntie out there, that's a model. I just want to make it a little more, with structures, and you could put little tiny units, whatever the case is. But I want to see zones that our homeless community can stay and be safe and warm and get the services that they need in one place, not in bushes. So, when you see the governor came out and said that our homeless numbers have dropped, that's because they're counting only the ones that they see. They're not going in the bushes in Hanamalo. They're not going in the bushes in Waimea. They're not going in the bushes in Anahola. My God, I went on a tour in the Anahola back road, and it's amazing what's going on. So we need to create safe zones where we can put up safe, clean, healthy structures, healthy facilities, so that they have a place to stay, and our social service personnel can come to them, and we can, number one, identify who they are and what their needs are, and we can help them. Many of our homeless communities suffer from mental illness, so we need to get them the help they need. Many of them suffer from drug addiction and needs help, and we can, some of them don't want the help. And we pray for them, but the ones that need the help, we should be there to identify and help them. That's just simple. I mean, it's a simple concept. It's just we gotta make it happen. The problem with creating a safe zone is the neighborhood's going to get all upset. Yeah, no, not in my backyard. Well, you know what? That's where the tough mayor comes in. That's where a strong council comes in, and say, we understand that somebody's going to be, we just got to be strategic in where we place them, near the bus routes, near services. This is not something that you just drop them somewhere and say, okay, we gave them a safe zone. No, it's got to be strategically placed. It's got to be working with the community, and I can only hope that the community would welcome these safe zones. What are your thoughts on the possibility of the county taking over the water department? That's a very common thought in my head. Over the years, Kaipo and I tried to do that. We did a resolution several years ago. It was quite a while now to bring the county water department back under the administration. A lot of people got worried and a lot of people got scared. At the end of the day, the resolution never made it out, but I am seriously considering at least exploring that more, because we have absolutely no say. The county has absolutely no say in the water department, and I think the problems we're having with water, with the cost. $14,000 or $15,000 for a water meter for your facilities reserve charge. And that's so, yeah, Jay, I am definitely a very, very big issue in my mind that as mayor, I would definitely take a much closer look. You should see Nimitz Highway and that overpass by the airport. Homeless are hidden. Oh, I mean, Josh, Josh, Kauai will be Honolulu shortly if we don't do something about it. I don't know why we're waiting. I talked to the mayor about safe zones, but I don't know. He spoke to somebody and somebody said, you cannot do that, and he stopped. Jerry Bostic. Oh, my God. And Chala, how are you? Mahalo. Mark, mahalo for joining. I don't know if you guys know Jerry Bostic, but Jerry is a wrestling promoter out there in Oklahoma. Friend of mine. You guys all know I am a huge professional wrestling fan. It's the only true sport left. Everything else is fixed. Professional wrestling is the only one left. And Jerry, I hope we can run that show on Kauai, man. I really wanna get a show to Kauai, buddy. And let's talk soon. So anyway, sorry I had to digress. I was so excited to see Jerry on this live. Amy, thank you for your questions and your comments. Appreciate it always, keeping me on my toes. Yeah, so that's the bottom line. It's really, focusing on the issues at hand, taking care of the priorities, the needs. Public health and safety is always number one. And it's just a lot of things. People always ask me, what's your top priority? Well, it's not just one top priority, because there's a lot. And my plan is to have a multi-pronged approach, using department heads that are qualified and competent and task-oriented, goal-oriented, and getting the job done. That's how we're going to do this. That's how we're going to make this happen. And the community's got to help out. It's not just the mayor, and it's not just the council. It's the nonprofits. Kauai has the most giving community in the world. That is a fact. We have nonprofits on this island that are willing to step up. And I want to offer that hand. I want to offer the partnership. Let's get it done. Whatever we can use to make things happen on this island, I am open, completely open. So anyway, again, you get me started, I'm just going to go crazy. I just want to make sure I'm going through the comments to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see, Bitos, I think I got you, Bitos. Ken, Apologize. I hope I got all your questions answered. You know, we'll hang out for another 5 minutes or so. If anyone has any other questions that I didn't reach, I want to just go over some dates. Tomorrow night, a very important debate, Waimea Theater, 6 p.m., 5:30 meet and greet till 6 till 9 is the debate. I understand the first half is going to be public questions, and then the second half will be a true debate where I get to question my opponent and he gets to question me. That'll be fun. On the 17th, we will be in Princeville at the community center with a meet and greet. We've done a bunch of meet and greets. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been working hard. I've been trying to get as much in front of as many people as I can. So Wednesday, if you're in the area, 6:30 at Princeville Community Center, we'll be there for a meet and greet. We want to keep Kauai moving. We want to keep Kauai moving in the right direction. You know, we got the traffic plan, we got the housing plan, infrastructure plan, we got a parks plan coming up. Mel wins, Kauai wins. That is our slogan. I'm sticking by that because I believe that with all my heart. Our website, we changed it. We believe in that so much. We changed our website. It's melwinskauaiwins.com. melwinskauaiwins.com. Please stop by and check it out. Look at our testimonials. We got people, Jose Bulatao, Kathy Miyake, a bunch of well-respected people that have decided that this is the direction they want to go. Remember, I've been doing this all my life. My service to this county started when I was 19 years old. I was a police officer. It hasn't stopped since. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I know what it's like to struggle. I still struggle. I still work full-time at night at a hotel so I can serve all of you during the day. My heart is on Kauai. It's not with the state legislature. It's not at the Congress. I want to serve you, the people of Kauai, and Niihau, and I cannot do it without your help. So please, the ballots are out today. Do me a favor tonight. Number one, share this video. Share this video on your Facebook page. Number two, like it or love it, whatever you want. Number three, call everyone in your phone book tonight, in your little address book on your phone, you know, your little thing here. Just go right down the line and say, hey, I don't know if you got your ballot yet, but you know, please help me in supporting Mel for mayor, because if Mel wins, Kauai wins. I would much appreciate that. Can you ask your opponent about how he feels about the building restriction? He said on PBS he's against it, yet I've heard he wants to build up on Rice Street. Well, on PBS he said he was against it. In April he said he was open to looking at it. So, you know, that I'm sure that question will come up tomorrow at the debate. That's a clue. Oh, Sharon, welcome. We're just about ready to sign off. Again, thank you all for joining us. All of you, you know, all of you. We can make a difference. I cannot do it alone. We need your help. God bless. We love you guys. Take care. Mel wins, KauaiWins.com. Let's keep Kauai moving. Aloha, everybody. God bless.